It's a good afternoon to you, and thanks for joining us on Afternoon Tea. On this program, we bring you nothing but the latest entertainment stories from around the world. I'm Tekno Taiwo, and here to give a holistic and thorough analysis on today's stories are my co-anchors with the attention to detail analyst Lakwe Banjo and thorough researcher Ife Oshinkeye. Hello, people.
Hello.
Hi. So, what's happening this weekend since it's TGIF?
Ife invited a public announcement and invited everyone to the beach. So if you're
Did he make any kind of advocacy whatsoever?
Well, yeah, he did. He tried to lure me in with all these. What's happening at that beach? What did you say?
Oh, let's go. Just let's go. You find out, man. There's some things I can't say on TV right now, but you find out.
Yeah, but it's an invite
you know where
only.
to find it. Just check all the beaches and from Lekki to Takwa Bay. You probably find us.
And Lakwe, what do you have planned for this weekend?
Well, I might take Ife's beach offer. I don't know. I'm still contemplating whether or not.
Yeah, but supposing you didn't, though, what would you do?
I really want a nice little chilled weekend this weekend, actually. Might do some, like,
What's your definition of a chilled weekend?
Netflix and chill.
Am I invited?
With someone,
But I
with
invited
someone
you.
special,
Why you
yeah.
so-
Oh, did you just blush right there?
No,
oh, good
I
heavens.
didn't. But
I invited
Anyway,
you, so why won't
we're
you let me
starting
come?
first with this story on 50 Cent, who has called Floyd good heavens, it's a tongue twister right now. Floyd Mayweather, yes, a fool for buying $80 million watch. Okay, so like I was saying earlier, this is his money, though.
And 50 Cent is just a bully, and he's Floyd Mayweather's ex-best friend. They've grown up together. So I feel like he's more of a bully because he knows basically a lot of ins and outs about Floyd and just basically outs him all the time. He basically let the world know, I think Ife was saying it earlier, that he let the world know about Floyd's...
We're all doing
Why
it.
are you making mistakes on Floyd
It's
Mayweather?
because he's got a weird name.
Yeah.
Floyd's... illiteracy and basically
Yeah.
told us that he couldn't read and stuff like that. And I just think 50 Cent has no right to say nearly a billionaire, like Floyd Mayweather can't spend $80 million on a watch. And also, Floyd is from like a high caliber. He's rich. People expect him to do outrageous things. He buys outrageous cars, and he should be able to spend his money. And he's worked for it.
Yeah, well, you see the issue that I had, but let's even put it in, let's bring it out, to our level here. Supposing you were a billionaire, though, would you buy a $18 million shoe?
So me personally, if I was a billionaire, I would want to stay a billionaire and I would.
That wouldn't make sense for you to buy an $18 million
Yeah, it wouldn't
shoe.
make any sense
That's
Why are we trying to justify Floyd Mayweather buying an $80 million
Because
watch?
he has accountants.
No,
he has
exactly.
people that know if he can buy it.
Look,
and let's be honest, it's America.
look.
Probably didn't buy it outright.
Exactly. Yeah, that was what I was going to point out. I was going to say, okay, sometimes these people don't actually pay cash for this thing. The fact that it's Floyd Mayweather, and if you look at his Instagram page where he showed us the watch he bought, he was talking about this jeweler he got it from, and he was saying he's never buying jewelry from any jeweler anymore.
Yeah.
And then he was even advertising like, fire your jeweler and move to this person.
Yeah,
so this person could give it to him for free, and he calls it a billionaire watch. And before you know, you see a lot of billionaires
actually
trying to
buy
get
it.
that
So
watch
let's
because
just
Floyd is
clarify. You're
wearing it.
saying he probably didn't pay.
Yeah, he probably didn't pay. But
There's a
if
high
he did,
possibility that
But
he
if it did, I'm on 50 Cent's side on this one. He's actually a fool for buying.
Okay, but 50 Cent should.
Oh,
yeah, but
good
50
heavens.
Cent, yeah, but 50 Cent should. Okay, fair enough. He might be a fool for buying it, but 50 Cent isn't in the position to tell
him exactly.
Why? But
That's
50 Cent
like-
doesn't waste money. 50
That's
Cent
why I
puts-
said
50 Cent's
initially
accounting.
it's his money.
50 Cent puts his money into movies, into making new music.
Yeah,
into
but there are
signing
two
record
different
deals,
people, though,
into
whatever they
doing
do.
stuff.
Yeah.
You don't see 50 Cent throwing $80 million on buying a gold
Because
chain.
he probably doesn't
and all
have
that.
it to buy a gold chain.
Ooh,
What?
ouch.
50 Cent? 50 Cent is rich.
Okay, guys,
But
you
don't
know
even
what?
go there, man.
The best
50 Cent is
person-
making money from the box office, is making money from music, is making money from shady aftermath, he's making money from a lot of things. He has the headphones, the SMEs.
Yeah, okay.
SMEs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has those headphones.
Yeah.
Can I
He
say
has, do you know
something?
how many things 50 Cent has going on for him
That's
right now?
great and amazing for 50 Cent, but he's not richer than Mayweather.
All right, guys, you know what?
No,
Someone that
yeah,
can actually give us
definitely.
more on that is Bookie November, who is our social media analyst, and she'll shed more light on this issue as we discuss it. Hi there, Bookie.
Hi, Tokumbo and Lakwe and Ife. Okay, so basically, I don't know why everyone is coming after 50 Cent. I mean, other people also made comments against Floyd Mayweather. For example, Cherise Moe on Twitter says, the fact that Floyd Mayweather just bought a watch for 18 million just shows that money still cannot buy common sense. Did you see that? Did you just hear that? on the flip side, I think people will come after 50 Cent because Of course, the recent comment about Terry's sexual assault claim, and then this one again, just at the space of just days apart. Fans online basically say 50 Cent is just seeking attention. In their own words, he is trolling celebrities just to stay relevant. That's what they say. Let's check out more comments from social media. My final thoughts: if Floyd can afford a wristwatch, what, 18 million? This is $18 million. If he can afford a watch worth $18 million, he definitely has more money to blow around. But if I had $18 million, or if I was a billionaire, I wouldn't be buying a watch that expensive. I mean, people are hungry all over the world. I guess that's just me, though. That's all from me, Tokumbo. Back to you.
All right then, Buki, thanks very much for that report. Still to come on Afternoon Tea Time, we've got scoop on Tekno, Ubi Franklin and Casey. That's all coming up when the afternoon edition of Tea Time returns.
It is not yet over. The Get to Latin Millions promo is still on. 110 people have won up to 65 million naira already, and you can be one of them, as there is 31 million naira still available to be won. You stand a chance to become a millionaire. All you have to do is walk into a Fidelity Bank near you and open an account with 10,000 naira or pay in 10,000 naira to your already existing account, and you stand a chance to win 1 million, 2 million and 3 million naira in the monthly draw. Grow your account to 50,000 naira and stand a chance to win up to 5 million naira. That's not all. Lots of consolation prizes like refrigerators and generators to be won. Rush now to the Fidelity Bank near you and start saving for a chance to become a millionaire in the Fidelity Get a Lot in Millions promo.
We're Fidelity. We keep our word.
I don't get a lot, God do it.
Welcome back. You're watching Tea Time, and we're about to bring you our next story, which is on Tekno. And he's basically reminding Ubi Franklin of how he told him he will make them a lot of money. Ife, let me start with you on this one.
Yeah, as in Tekno did what a lot of artists would not do, especially when they have attained the level of fame which Tekno has attained right now. And it was basically just saying, he told Ubi Franklin 5 years ago that, remember when I was telling you to sign me 5 years ago and we'll make a lot of money.
What do you think? Do you think Ubi did not believe him at that time? Because
Well,
he's coming back now to say it again.
He must have for him to
yeah,
sign
he must have for him to sign it, but it might have taken a while because Ubi now came back to respond to the post saying that, yeah, it was always telling me, Baba, sign me, we go make money. You get that kind of thing. And then he actually did, and he was saying thank you to him. It was like, thank you for believing in me. He was telling Tekno that thank you for believing in me.
And then KC comes along.
And it was like...
Throwing shade.
No, not throwing shade.
Yeah, a Harry song, saying that you're unlike other... Yeah,
okay, we're throwing shades at other musicians.
Yeah, in particular Harry song, because Harry song left on a bad note from... Was it music?
Yeah, five-star music. Yeah. So it was like, oh, a lot of people should do what you're doing now, and God bless you, and God bless you, Ubi Franklin as well. But if you really think about it, yeah, a lot of artists need to learn from what Tekno did, because a lot of them think, oh, once I become a star, I can just fall out. Tekno can decide.
I don't agree. I think a lot of the times the stars don't come back and do those kind of things because they've been in terrible contracts that haven't benefited them. If you take Iyanya, who was also on the same label,
Yeah.
he wouldn't have probably have said the same thing because he had a completely different experience to
Well,
Tekno.
Inyanya's problems are totally different from Tekno's problem because
Yeah, so you can't
Tekno was
expect-
like
that's
a
what I'm saying.
signed artist, and then Inyanya was like Ubi Franklin's partner.
Yeah.
You get a owned half of the company, and he signed off his whole entitlement to Ubi Franklin at the end of the day. So I don't think they experience the same thing because their contracts are totally different.
True, but the point I'm trying to make is from that example is that a lot of these artists get into terrible contracts and then they don't feel like they've been helped.
Yeah.
I mean, Runtown, Kiss
Yeah.
Daniel,
Yeah.
Wande Cole.
Yeah.
There's so many.
Keys Daniel.
I mean, I think there's just so many of them that have been in horrible contracts that won't feel like, you know, they're not everybody.
I would imagine that some
Yeah.
upcoming artists as well who are in terrible
Not
contracts
everybody has
right
had
now.
a good time like
Yeah,
Tekno.
yeah.
And I even think
And then
Tekno
Tekno-
shouldn't speak too soon as well.
No, he can speak too soon because a lot of things are going on for Tekno right now. He's signed to Universal Record. He has deals with Sony Music.
Okay, but the band
He
was
has-
signed to Good Music the time Mo hit Split.
No, that was a big Well, I'm telling you now, that was a big mistake for the band signing to Good Music in the first place because it did him no good at the end of the day. Instead, it reduced its brand quality in a way.
And he had to do the work all over again.
Yeah, he had to do it all over. He's even very lucky that he's the band. That's why it's
why
still
he was
relevant to you now.
Yep. That's
If
absolutely.
it was somebody else, man, it was going to fade out after leaving Good Music. Yeah, so at the end of the day, it's not about your international awards, but it is the contract you're signing with these international companies. Davido signed with Sony Music. At the end of the day, they fell out.
Yeah.
Because they weren't giving him a good deal. So it's about what you sign with them at the end of the day. So I think Tekno has everything going on smoothly for him. And remember, he had this collaboration with Drake, which we are still waiting for. And yeah, so Tekno is doing good. He showed off his garage like a couple of days too. And
No,
he
I'm
had
not saying
all
he's not
sorts.
doing. I'm saying he's benefited from a good structure, which is why he's able to thank Ubi Franklin. But I'm saying let's not assume that everyone that's signed to a record label should follow suit because not all of them are having a great time or
Yeah,
making
but
money.
I think Tekno too, never for once did Tekno come out and I'm sure he must have had his fallout with Ubi Franklin, but not once did he come out and say Ubi Franklin is this or write about his record, write negatively about his record label. But you can't tell me he's had everything smooth from day one.
I'm not saying that at all.
Yeah, but he hasn't come out to talk down on his record
Well,
label.
just on the back of that, what you've just said now, I'm beginning to think perhaps, you know how my mind works, Ife. You may call it negativity, but I'm just trying to look at all of the angles, really.
Okay, so now, where are we looking at?
I'm laughing already because your facial expression is like, where is Stokes going? So what I'm trying to say is, do you think that Tekno perhaps may want something now, and that's why he's coming out now to say something from, you know...
Kumba Taiwo.
Do you think I have a point though?
Okay. Let's even agree to what you're saying. Give me an example of something you think Tekno might want.
I don't know. I'm just thinking because this didn't come last week. It didn't come 2 years ago. It's coming now, and I'm just beginning to think.
Wow, Tokumbo, why must you find a conspiracy in everything?
I'm just doing my job and trying to look at all the angles.
Wait, I have a question for you, Tokumbo.
angle?
Okay, let's assume that you're right.
Yes.
What do you think Tekno could possibly want from Ubi Franklin
exactly.
right now?
After making all the
Maybe
money.
there's some kind of deal that he could get some more money. I don't know. So I'm just like, okay, maybe he's actually
Kumbo, you
trying
are
to pave
clutching-
the way before
After the
he
show,
gets
you have
it.
to watch the show and listen to yourself.
You're clutching at straws. This one didn't enter, not today. That conspiracy theory.
Listen, guys, if it comes out that we discover something that there's a business deal, I will have you to.
I'll give you 20,000 naira.
Same, make it
Sorry?
40.
40,000.
Yeah,
All
you
right
should
then.
shake on it.
It's a deal. Our next story is on 03 Greedo, the American rapper who was sentenced to 20 years in jail for proposing. Well, not for proposing, but he has actually proposed to his girlfriend. So who's gonna go first?
And this one goes to...
Drum roll.
Why?
Oju Olakbe.
You're so annoying. Why?
Okay, now this is the reason why I think Lakwish is in the best position to talk about this. Can you remember when we were talking about Gucci Mane and his wife, and when he went to jail, and then we're talking about loyalty and all of that? She was like, no, if you go to jail, that's your business. Why should I keep you together? So right now,
I remember.
I didn't say it in that way, but okay.
Yeah, but that was what you insinuated. So right now, this is a guy that was charged based on gun possession and
drug 400 grams
yeah,
of
400
meth.
grams of meth, and then he's going to jail for 20 years. And just 2 days before he was supposed to go into jail, he proposed to his girlfriend on stage during his last performance, and he proposed to her, and she said yes. So I just want to know right now, like, if it is Lakwe, what would you do? And remember, they've been dating for a very long time. Yeah.
I would still say no.
You would still say no?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he knew he was going to prison for 20 years. You can't try and hook me
But you
now.
knew,
you gonna say,
was
all
going
of
to
the
jail.
emotional
You
investments.
asked me what
Yeah.
I would do, me,
Yeah.
Lakwe Banjo, what I would do, not what she would do.
Yeah.
Because she knew her boyfriend was already selling drugs before that. She knew the kind of lifestyle he lived. If from time you're selling drugs and you own a gun, you know the kind of lifestyle that the guy has, right? So you're ready to embrace any of the consequences. That's why a lot of these gangsters, their girlfriends ride for them because they knew the kind of person he was. I would
And they
never,
probably do it together
Yeah,
as well.
they probably hold stuff for them as well. I would never be in a position where, one, I'm with that kind of person.
Yeah.
Two, I would never put myself in a situation where you can be taken from me at any time and I would have to deal with those consequences. What if there were kids involved and I have to explain to you that your dad's gone away for 20 years because he couldn't get a proper job and decided to sell drugs and he got caught and now he's been a victim of this, the injustice of the state? No, I would not put myself in that position.
Okay, let's quickly talk about the sentencing, the 20 years. Do you think he would actually do all of those 20 years?
Yeah, he probably
no,
will be
if it's
eligible
of
for
good
parole.
behavior,
Yes,
he'll
because I was
probably
thinking,
get out.
But do you
on
think he would
parole.
do the good behavior thing?
Yeah, because this is a guy that just had everything going on for him now in
but
2018.
this thing is a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
If he goes to prison for 20 years, he'll probably be eligible for parole from about 10 or 12 years, or after he's done 10 or 12. When he does the 10 or 12, he might get the parole, he might not, depending on what, like if I said good behavior. Let's say he is on good behavior, comes out after 10 years.
Yeah.
He now has to be good for another 10 years or else he goes back into prison. That's what's troubling a lot of these stars. Meek Mill hasn't finished his parole, so he keeps going in and out of prison.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you've been in prison for 10 years, which, by the way, is a very long time.
And it's
right?
probably like 25.
Yeah,
so 10 years he'll be back
and then
at
he'll
when
be
he's 35.
institutionalized,
Yeah.
he'll be used to the street life and selling drugs, he'll do it again, go to prison again, and then it becomes a cycle. No. And she's going to wait around for him
Well,
for
I don't
for
understand.
20 years and not have any kids.
On this
Are they going to
one-
get conjugal visits?
On this one, I think I'm on Lakwe's
Sorry, what was that
side.
you said? Say that
Are
again.
they going to get conjugal visits? Because not every single state in America, not every single prison in America
Is
allows
that what you even care about, the conjugal visit?
Of course, are you crazy? If I'm
That's
going
why I was like, say that again.
hello, you want me to propose and then choose you to spend, and
You know,
I don't
that is why on this one I'm totally on your side, because I even think it's a selfish move to make.
It is a selfish
How
move.
would you be going to
All
jail
right,
for
we
20
need to wrap
years?
up.
And you're
guys.
And then you now
Who wants to have that final
propose it.
word?
Like she can't see no one else, she can't do anything. Well, you guys are not married. I think she's a very smart one too. You are not married to me, so you just propose. We're engaged, but we're not married, so she can do
there's
whatever she
nothing
wants.
that ring is going to do.
And I'm just saying that girl looks like a G. You get me? Like she probably doesn't
All right
care.
then, time for another quick break. When we return, we'll be bringing you scoop on Ghanaian star Ms. Bell. Don't go anywhere.
You know, from day one, Globe makes life easier. They brought us unbelievable data packages and even an optic fiber cable to make sure we optimize. There are two things in our lives we depend on: the communication and information, voice and data. Whether you sell, buy, learn, teach, serve, or lead, it really comes down to those two things: voice or data. Today's world is all about you. You want what you want, how you want it, and Glow delivers. That's why Glow is introducing Flexi, the freedom to use voice and data the way you like on every recharge. No plan, no hassle, easy.
Now, on every recharge, Glow Flexi automatically gives the freedom to use voice and data as you like. At the best rates in town, no plan, no hassle.
The grandmasters of data. Glow.
Welcome back. You're still watching Tea Time right here on Plus TV Africa. Up next is our final story on this edition, and it's on the Ghanaian star Ms. Bell, for who she finally basically reveals why she gave up on Christianity.
Let's sing the song first.
I be 16 years, I go to be like this, so if you touch my Tino, I go tell mommy, oh.
I don't believe you, Lord.
I I love this bell.
That song was a banger back then.
I used to listen to that song all the time, and it used to get me in so much trouble.
So Miss Bell, yeah.
But I didn't even know she like changed to being a Christian anyway. But I knew she was really, really wild in her heyday.
Yeah.
Like she used to go on stage and like basically like.
She's changing religion. Is she?
She's now practicing Judaism.
Okay, Judaism. Okay, before we get on to that, let me have your initial reaction to this, Ife.
Judaism, or the story, what led her to practicing Judaism?
No, just your initial reaction that she's leaving Christianity.
I didn't even know she was Christian.
My initial, anybody, that's you're entitled to freedom of religion, so you're entitled to whatever religion you want. So, I didn't even know she was Christian in the first place.
Okay, but she's gone from Christianity to Judaism.
And they're the birds of the same feather, aren't they? Because I'm like, hello, there's not that much of a difference, is there?
And also, she clearly doesn't really get the concept of Judaism.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, I really don't
Or maybe
get
she
it.
just wants to have a religion, so they won't say she's an atheist or something. And
it's so funny how in like this part of the world, being an atheist is more frowned upon than being. Being an atheist is more frowned upon than actually like having a religion.
So you're saying she should have just come out as being atheist as opposed to...
Yeah, like if you've given up on religion, then just say that.
A person practicing Judaism is called what?
A Jew.
A Jew?
A Jew, yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
What did you... What was
because we're having this conversation downstairs, and somebody said it's Judaist.
Whoa! You have to tell me who that person was.
But it's Jews though that practice Judaism. So
no, it's Jews. It's Jews.
Person said it's a Judaist.
Please, we need to go and address that.
And then another person said it's a Judist. And then someone said it's Judas Iscariot.
That is pathetic. But you have to be born Jew.
Yeah, but
your mother has to be Jew for you to be Jewish.
But the thing is that we have Africans practicing Judaism.
You do,
now,
you do. But
how does that work out?
So basically, with Judaism, it's kind of changed from what it is.
Yeah.
So Jewish people, which is why no one really understands if they're an ethnicity, if they're a race, or if they're just from a country. Okay. Because obviously, for you to be a Jew, you have to be born of a Jewish mother. Which is why that's what makes Jesus a Jew. And so, but because of the kind of, migration and the way history has worked, a lot of the message has spread to other parts. There's a huge African, Jewish
following.
Jewish community. Okay. And so obviously, maybe that's what she's found herself in one of those kind of communities.
But
by definition, a Jewish person is an Israeli that's born of a Jewish mother.
I was going to say, she didn't say that, she's left Christianity because they're still linked, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I think I don't think the Jews now they have to go to a place of worship every Sunday.
No, they have Sabbath, and their Sabbath is from Friday evening to Saturday night.
So is that
regardless?
Is there like a public place where they meet every Friday?
They don't work. Have you not seen that Jewish people do not do any kind of work on the Sabbath? They walk.
Yeah, they're like the Adventists.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And they go to the synagogue and they make their unleavened bread, like they cook the night before, so everything is. They don't cook. They don't watch TV.
My point is still coming back to the fact that it's still the same Christianity. It's following the same Christian principles.
Well, you can't really say that because obviously that's quite offensive to Jewish people to say that Jewish and Judaism and Christianity are the same.
No, that's not my point.
But what changed her mind? Why did she change?
She shouldn't say she has left Christianity per se because they're still all under the same umbrella. If
she should just say she's swaying towards being a Jewish a lot more. She believes in the Jewish doctrine.
But they're two different. Talking about you just have to always look for something because they might be similar.
Yeah. Because it's still based on biblical principles.
Well, yes, it is based on biblical principles, but they don't use the same Bible as us.
Exactly.
And also, they don't believe in Jesus. That's very key. Because Christians believe in Jesus.
You get me? So you should say she's a Jew now, then I think we should just let it be.
So clearly she doesn't believe in
All right then. Okay, guys, let's go to the reason. Why did she actually change? Because you were going to tell us that story.
I was actually going to ask you guys, but I think I have, I know why she left.
You think or you know?
No, I know why.
Okay, go on. Spill.
Do you want to tell us
No,
instead?
you tell us.
Why don't you want to tell us?
I don't know.
Talk about, would you tell us? Just tell us.
Get on with it. Oh my God.
We haven't got time.
Okay. You guys should beg me.
Wow.
Say, please, Ife.
Please, Ife. Can you please tell us why she changed?
Right. So she went to church, and then a pastor called her, like, sister, come. Your occupation
doesn't
and your religion, they don't match. Is it that you change your occupation and then, or you change your genre of music?
But she hasn't done music in years.
No, she has.
I thought that was a bit harsh when I saw it as well.
Or maybe you do gospel music or something. If you really want to stay in this occupation, you do gospel music and then still be or Christian, or change your religion and do whatever you want. You get
So Judaism allows her to be a secular singer, does it?
Yeah, it does, I guess.
Not in your books, obviously.
I guess.
All right, then.
But I thought it was wrong, though, for any pastor to call
exactly.
you
That's why I thought,
and tell you that.
That's why I said initially that I thought that's a bit harsh.
And then it's a major church in Ghana, like one of the most respected churches in Ghana. It was the pastor of one of those churches that called her to tell her this. So I think it's wrong, and I think this should be addressed, but that's a story for another day.
All right. And on that note, we come to the end of the program. Join us next week for another exciting episode of Tea Time. But before then, a big thank you to my co-anchors and the production team. While I've got you here, please subscribe to our YouTube page at Plus TV Africa. Well, until next time, I'm Tokunbo Taiwo, who likes to say goodbye every once in a while in one foreign language or another. So as they say in Japan, sayonara.